Freedom Party.
Thank you, Chairperson. I hereby move on behalf of the Charter of this House that this House debates the escalating debt owed by government departments and its entities to now. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Faith Front.
Dankie, Abba,
Yes, sir.
voorzitter. Ek stel voor artikel 235 van die Suid-Afrikaanse grondwet debatteer met spesifieke verwysing na die uitonderwys sowel as in die plaaslike en provinsiale sfere van regering. Ek stel so.
Dankie, jy is heeltemal in die lig. The African National Congress.
Thank you, Chairperson. I hereby move on behalf of the ANC that the House at its next sitting debate gender transformative training to address toxic masculinity in society, to address patriarchy and integrate positive masculinity. I so move. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. The ACDP.
Thank you, House Chair. I move on behalf of the ACDP that this House debates at its next sitting the role of services industries in growing the economy and improving living standards in South Africa. I so move.
Thank you. The UDM, the ATM, the DA.
Thanks, Mr. House Chair. I hereby move on behalf of the Democratic Alliance that its next sitting, this House debates the crucial economic role that tourism plays in the Republic, including its benefits and the tourism opportunities lost, and how to change this so that we benefit economically and that jobs are created within the sector. Yes, I so move. Thank you.
Thank you. The Economic Freedom Fighters.
The next House sitting, the Economic Freedom Fighters moves that the House debate how we can increase social workers and occupational therapists in schools in order to assist learners who cannot cope due to passing of their parents and who end up being the parents of their siblings, which they cannot cope with, and who end up leaving school and looking for jobs that is scarce and unavailable. I thank you.
Thank you. The African National Congress.
House Chair, I hereby move on behalf of the ANC that the House at its next sitting must debate the importance of educating young people on Ubuntu, diversity and inclusive society to combat patriarchy. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Good. Good. NFP.
Good day, Chairperson. On behalf of the National Freedom Party, I move that at its next sitting, this House deliberates on weaknesses in the local government, including corruption, tender fraud, cadre deployment. I thank you.
Thank you. The African National Congress.
Thank you very much, House Chair. I hereby move on behalf of the African National Congress that the House at its next sitting must debate strengthening of measures aimed at addressing the problem of young people who dropped out of school before writing matric. I thank you.
Thank you. Independent Congress. COPE. The African National Congress.
Thanks, House Chair. I hereby move on behalf of the African National Congress that the House at its next sitting must debate the development of agent plan and intervention through a multi-pronged crime prevention strategy to bring down the scourge of crime and lawlessness perpetuated by gangsters in our communities. I so move. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. The DA.
Thank you, House Chair. I hereby move on behalf of the Democratic Alliance that at its next sitting, this House debates the alleged failure of the South African Social Security Agency to fulfill its mandate to ensure the provision of comprehensive social security services against vulnerability and poverty within the constitutional and legislative framework, which has contributed to the current humanitarian crisis in the Republic. I so move.
Thank you. The PAC. Al Jama.
Thank you, Honorable Chair Al Jabbar. Hereby give notice that on the next sitting, the House debates the release of the remaining political prisoners who are members of the Pan-Africanist Congress of Tanzania, PAC, and political prisoners of other liberation movements. The release of 2 members of People Against Gangsterism and Drugs Packet who have been approved for parole but still languishing in prison. The release of these political prisoners and activists can also be prioritized when the president next issues a general pardon. I so move.
Thank you. Don't start the debate now. It's coming. The African National Congress.
Thank you, House Chair. I hereby move on behalf of the ANC that the House in its next sitting must debate working towards a multipolar world order wherein national sovereignty and solidarity are not undermined. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes notices of motion and business for the day. The House stands adjourned. Tot ziens, Singele Moore.